I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV for the week of July 13th, 2016, where we give you our recommendations for this week's best comics. We're coming to you on New Comic Book Day from Alter Ego Comics in Lima, Ohio. Lima's best comic shop. Lima's only comic shop. Best and only, and we're okay with that. Lots of cool stuff to talk about. It's a very strong week, but I am drinking the DC Rebirth Kool-Aid by the gallon. And my pick of the week this week is Wonder Woman #2 by Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott. This is Wonder Woman Year 1, Part 1. Now, just as a refresher, the new Wonder Woman series is going to be telling two different stories in two different time periods. The odd number issues will be set in present day, and the even numbered issues will be the Year 1 story. Different artist, Liam Sharp is doing the present day work, while Nicola Scott is doing the Wonder Woman Year 1 stuff. To me, this was the best written, best drawn book, hands down.
This week or ever?
This week, yes. It's definitely a team effort. One without the other here would not produce the excellence that is this book. But this is just a joy to behold. I can't say it any other way than that. Rucka's words coming out of Nicola Scott's character drawings is just amazing. So we get the umpteenth retelling of Wonder Woman's origin here, and actually the second in the last year.
Well, more if you count the Grant Morrison.
Well, I was counting the Grant Morrison one.
Well,
was there another origin?
Legend of Wonder Woman miniseries that's not over yet.
So we've got all kinds of Wonder Woman origin stories.
And there's another one coming from Jill Thompson before the end of the year.
Correct.
An original graphic novel, which also looks cool.
I'm going to place my bets on this one as being my favorite. So we've got some familiar things, we've got some new things, but it's just the way that Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor are written in this that make the book outstanding. They both feel like kind of lost souls, and that's really all I can say. I mean, you're familiar with the story. If you're not familiar with Wonder Woman, if you've seen Batman v Superman and you want to read a Wonder Woman comic, pick this up. Whether you're picking up the series, the complete series, or just checking out the even-numbered issues for the origin story, you will not be disappointed. Outstanding.
Yeah, I was really happy with the amount of Steve Trevor we got. All right. Next up for me. Oh, choices are hard. My pick of the week is Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, Rebirth. This is a Rebirth one-shot, not the first issue of the ongoing series, because that's still something we have to worry about. Written by Robert Venditti with art by Ethan Van Sciver, longtime Green Lantern penciler and awesome Green Lantern penciler. Also, a heck of a nice guy and a wonderful musician.
I miss his columns over wherever they were. Comic Book
Was it
Resources.
CBR?
I think it was CBR.
Yeah. So I have not been the most faithful devotee of Hal Jordan the last couple of years, but this gives you everything you need to know to bring you up to date. Even if you only just saw the questionably good Green Lantern movie, this will give you everything you need to jump in. But status quo is all jacked up. Lanterns are missing. Hal is sort of alone in the universe, or it seems that way. And he's been a rogue. He's gone rogue. He's stolen one of the Green Lantern's Corps' powerful items, and it's affecting him. He's turning into Obi-Wan, I think, from Star Wars. He's all translucent-y, like he's a construct. And this is how Hal Jordan does what Hal Jordan does, and takes charge and starts to bring back the universe from the brink. Also, I've clearly missed something in the Sinestro book, because Sinestro was about 700 years old.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
are those parts in the
that
future? Or I'm going to have to go back and check out the Sinestro. But Hal Jordan and Green Lantern Corps was awesome. Another great Rebirth book this week that I loved was Nightwing Rebirth #1, written by Tim Seeley with art by Yannick Paquette. It's Yannick, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I love me some Dick Grayson, and this was more Dick Grayson. Does a great job of acknowledging all the things that have gone on in his past, kind of resolving loose ends, we'll say, and sending him together forward into the future of the DC Universe and to his own title in Nightwing #1, coming on stands in 2 weeks or a month?
I don't know.
I think it's a month. But yeah, it was just great. It was excellent. Seeley has a really good feel for the kind of fun that is inherent in the Dick Grayson character, and it was awesome. Rebirth's great this year.
Yes, I truly enjoyed the Nightwing Rebirth as well. We'll stay in the DC Universe Rebirth realm with new Superman #1, written by friend of the shop, Gene Luen Yang, artwork by Victor Bogdanovich, perhaps. And this is not about the Superman that you're familiar with. This takes place in China with a teenager who is kind of a Flash Thompson-y kind of character, but he's got some reasons for why he is kind of a bully. And he volunteers to sign up to enter kind of a super soldier-esque program and possibly become China's Superman. I really, really dug it. I wasn't sure how this was going to go, but I think that those of you that enjoy Miles Morales' Spider-Man would probably enjoy New Superman. There are many similarities, and I think that this book could definitely be kind of the ultimate version of Superman. It's another version of Superman with familiar characters that are still fresh and fun and different. It's very action-packed. Definitely a must-buy this week. New Superman #1. 2 thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I thought it was... I couldn't put words to it, but you're right. He is very Flash Thompson-esque. It's like if Amazing Fantasy 15 happened, and instead of Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man, Flash Thompson became Spider-Man. It's really interesting and fun. Next up for me, Guardians of the Galaxy #10, written by your friend of mine, Brian Michael Bendis, with art by Olivier Shitty? Alexander Shitty? What's Shitty's first name?
Valerio
Shitty, there we go.
Valeria, I don't
Valeria. And I think that's Reed Richards' daughter.
Malaria Shitty?
Malaria.
Oh, sorry.
Honestly, I'm not even sure why I'm talking about this. It was super great, but if you're not reading it, you probably don't care that much. But it was a real true return to form. All of the team is back in the same place trying to save Peter from the Badoon, executing him. And it's fun and action-packed and exciting and funny, legitimately funny. And it's just everything I wanted in a comic book this week. Also, Angela's back. They got her last issue, but this is the first full issue back with the team.
Next up for me is the third time that I'm talking about Detective Comics. This is issue number 936, written by James Tynion IV, artwork by Alvaro Martinez. And Tynion is writing some outstanding dialogue in this series. I think that I think I may have mentioned with the first issue that came out, I really don't care about Batwoman at all. I've never felt kind of an affinity towards the character, but Tynion is making me care about Batwoman with this series. The dialogue is great, and to complement the dialogue, we get Martinez's layouts, which are fresh. I mean, it's not a typical... Sure, there's some typical comic book panels, but I think he's doing some nice work with layouts, and his artwork is top-notch. So this is the team that Batman and Batwoman have assembled. Essentially, Batman has assembled and then put Batwoman in charge of, which consists of some Bat family characters that I've talked about for the last 2 issues. And we get to see who's behind this army of Batmen and this Big Brother-esque monitoring that's going on. But the real heart of this, again, is the scripting and the dialogue that Tynion writes, especially for Batwoman. Really, really good stuff. I'm loving it.
Yeah, there were a couple of panels in there where I had to stop and then go back and look at who did the art. I'm like, that's really good. Out this week, we've got the 800-pound gorilla, Civil War II, number 3. I can't tell you anything about this, but if you look at the cover, you can see what might be about it and things that are happening. And if you're reading Civil War, obviously the Hulk is involved, and bad things are going to happen. Things happen. Bad things happen to good people. Well, bad things happen to people. And it was great. I
will go so far as to say that there is the death of an Avenger in this issue.
Yes. And not one of those made-up pissy Avengers. One of the ones you actually know.
Yeah, not Cersei or...
Cersei was actually an Avenger?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Back in the...
It's not Dr. Druid.
70s? Yeah, he's dead already, actually. But yes, the death of an Avenger, this is a major issue. It's a major turning point, I think, for many characters in this story. It was the first thing that I read. In fact, I read it as soon as we got it yesterday because I knew the internet would be rampant with spoilers, as usual, and didn't want to accidentally stumble across it.
And also on the Civil War train this week is Amazing Spider-Man 2, Civil War 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yes, written by Christos Gage with art by Travel Foreman. And I don't know why you wouldn't be reading this book. It is relevant to the main Civil War storyline, but it's also essential. I think, at least it looks like it's going to be essential Spider-Man reading. If you're reading Amazing Spider-Man, you should be reading this Civil War tie-in because it looks to have some important effects on Peter and his supporting cast. And it's good, which helps.
This last one for me is a throwaway. Of course, this is the year of Star Trek's 50th anniversary. Star Trek Beyond comes out next week. And the IDW Star Trek series has been excellent, almost without fail, from the beginning. So we're coming up on the last 2 issues of the IDW series, issue 59 and 60. The series ends with issue number 60, and then they're launching Star Trek Waypoint, which is kind of an anthology book. And who knows, they may relaunch again soon, like comic companies often do. But this is a 2-part story that features a crossover between the Star Trek, the original series universe, and the J.J. Abrams universe. It's called Connection. And my God, it was awesome. And it helps that I've been refreshing myself on the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies, gearing up for Beyond next week. And I just watched the first movie earlier this week and watched the second movie, which I'm not as fond of, last night. But this was perfect. Perfect timing. So kudos to Mike Johnson, who has been writing some amazing Star Trek stories. I hope I get a chance to thank artwork by Tony Shasteen, and he does a great job of drawing both casts, both characters from each universe. You should get it. We don't have any in the store because none of you like Star Trek, I guess. We have one person that pulls it, and I pull it, and that's it. Star Trek, I think, as a franchise, has sailed a little bit in our town of Lima. But if you're a Star Trek fan, I know there are at least a handful of you out there, seek this out because it is awesome. And that is it for another week. We barely scratched the surface of the stuff that came out this week. All kinds of stuff that came out, and the majority of it is outstanding. So head out to your local comic shop and pick out some stuff. What else do we need to say? That's about it. Oh, apparently Josh is loved. Yes, I do want to mention that. Thank you everyone for chiming in last week and making Josh feel loved and liked and welcome. And he'll have a tough decision to make for the next 2 Wednesdays. I will not be here.
Really?
So, yes.
Okay. I knew about that. Who says I didn't?
Cast your votes now. What should Josh do for the next 2 Wednesdays while I'm away? And who knows? I may do a live stream from San Diego Comic-Con next week, because that's where I'll be next week. So you may get a double dose of Alter Ego Comics TV.
Yeah, but is San Diego Comic-Con is it a Pokestop?
It probably is.
Oh,
It
well,
probably
never mind
is.
then.
We are a Pokestop. By the way, for those of you that haven't figured it out, we've been trumpeting it. Please come in and refresh your balls. We got to go open the store. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And again, tell Josh what you want him to do for the next 2 weeks. Puppet show, dance, sing, get somebody else from the staff, talk to people on the street, whatever. We could Skype it. We could do a Skype episode. That's enough. Really, go home. You're still here?